Welcome back to Serving Up Pitt, the volleyball podcast where we break down all things Panthers volleyball. I'm Abby, and back with me today from Lima, Peru, is Miss Kat Flood. Um, and
Hey.
and it's perfect timing that Kat is back because Pitt is now 4-0 in ACC play after wins with Clemson and Georgia Tech. We're going to talk about what's going right for Pitt, what's a little shaky, highlight a few standout players, talk about Olivia Babcock's defense, and then we'll get into the highly controversial topic of Pitt's rankings, as in all the Twitter followers will love that one. And then Kat's going to tell us about some of her time in Peru too, because she's been there for a week. So let's go ahead and serve up some Pitt volleyball. Kat, how is Peru?
Oh, it's great. I've actually been here. I got here a week ago today. Trained every day. We've played 2 friendlies. We split the first one. The weird thing about the volleyball here is it's 4 sets, so you can tie. I think at least. I'm still getting my Spanish in check. I can communicate pretty well, but so if I don't know the topic of conversation, might as well be deaf. And then we play our first tournament this weekend. It's like an open. We play the Peruvian U19 team on Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, it's just like an open. It's called the Atenea Open, I guess. Yeah, it's going really well. It's about to be summer again, but it already feels like summer because it's 70 and people are wearing parkas, which is insane. But yeah, awesome. Love the girls. I am the only American on my team. Actually just met 2 other Americans yesterday. Shout out Natalie and Grace, Ball State and Michigan State. So that was nice to talk to somebody in English. But yeah, everything's going really well. Really, really well. Love it.
That's so exciting. I had a lot of people come up to me at the games over the weekend being like, is Kat not podcasting anymore? And I was like, no, she'll be back. Don't worry. She just was moving last week.
That is podcasting for sure. Kat needed to sort her life out here.
Yes. Had to get settled in, a foreign country because.
Literally. Because that's what you need to do.
Yeah. Okay, so 2 games to get into. We're not going to talk a lot about the Clemson game because it was a pretty simple night for Pitt. I mean, it's a really easy night for Pitt when Olivia Babcock only has 12 kills. But everyone looked really great. The thing that I really wanted to touch on about this sweep was that in the third set, Dan Fisher got to have a little bit of fun with the lineup. So we saw, Marina come in as an outside.
We saw Marina on Sunday too.
We did. We saw Marina a lot this weekend, which was awesome because I thought she played really well too.
Really well.
But the big thing that I wanted to talk about was the 6-2 that we got to see, which for any listeners who don't know what is 6-2, essentially the best way to describe it is 6 hitters, 2 servers versus 5 hitters, 1 server. Pitt traditionally with Brooke is running a 5-1, but they have the option to run a 6-2 with Olivia and Brooke paired up, and then Haiti and Sophia. And the thing that I noticed was Haiti's setting just looks so beautiful, and I feel like we don't get to see it enough.
Yeah. TT's hands, we always joke about her some of like the best hands in the nation, and her just ball control is also absurd. Obviously post-injury, she's still learning how athletic she really is. She is really athletic. She's a great setter, and she's getting better at communicating on the court. And I'm excited to watch her the next few years just completely excel and come in these moments. And I think that she did struggle a little bit with nerves in the beginning, because being a serving sub is a little scary when you haven't done it before.
You would know.
Literally. But I think she's doing a great job when she's coming in.
So. Yeah, and then I like to see Sophia too, because I think she is very talented. She's just also coming back from an injury. So any reps, he had her in both as the OH at one point and then as the right side as another point. And honestly, I like her at both spots. It's just, it feels like maybe the injury is just still recovering and coming back from that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if the injury necessarily would be an excuse for her because she's one of the most hardworking people ever. And she is absolutely ripped, absolutely works as hard as she can in the weight room, absolutely works as hard every day as she can in the gym. And she just wants to get better. And I think she just wants to be on the court wherever she can be. We've seen her obviously in the outside, which is what she came here as. We've seen her as a serving sub. Never forget her little run against Penn State in that. So right after her birthday. And then obviously as a right side, which I actually really like for her. I was talking to her one time in training when I was with them, and I was like, like my vision on the right side is sometimes so just like goofy because it's not like that side. She's like, I think it's actually easier for me. So I was like, oh, maybe this is gonna be a good switch for you. So yeah.
Yeah, I like it in the sense of when we can get Olivia Babcock breaks, let's give her breaks. And I know there's not technically another right side on the team, but having Sophia be able to slide in there, and Blair sometimes does too. But I would rather Blair focus on OH and like let's amp up Sophia a little bit.
Yeah, Soph is. I think she's gonna be. She's also the weirdest thing about it is blocking as an outside on the right side. I'm terrible at doing like a crossover set. Soph's is so good. I think that's partially why he really likes her there. But yeah, I agree.
The other thing I wanted to mention from that game that I forgot that I wanted to mention is Abby M. Homegirl, she comes in. It's 19-7 in the second set. And it's like immediately she gets a kill and 3 blocks before
She's
the
like,
game
hold
is
on.
over.
Let me just
score 4 of the 5 points that we need to win this. Or sorry, 4 of the 6 points to
4 of the 6, yeah.
And then she in the third set she served, which is always throws me off when a middle serves. And then
used to do that.
And then she set the ball to Sophia for the kill, and it's like, what the heck? I love this.
We practice in our gym. Obviously, you've definitely heard this. Everybody has to be a setter. But we do this one drill called Jack Sparrow. And it's just 4 people on, and everybody's setting out of system balls. And I like really think for our middles playing in left back, it's just been like the X factor sometimes.
I love it. You can definitely tell that they've been working on that non-setter serving because you can go down the stat sheet and it feels like almost everyone has an assist at this point. Obviously, some exemptions, but
and they struggled with it initially. I think a little bit. I think it was just like the middle front setting they were having a little bit of problems with, but now that everybody's kind of gotten settled in, it looks great.
And then moving on to the Georgia Tech game, which wasn't the prettiest performance, but for the first time in 5 seasons, Georgia Tech did not take Pitt to 5 sets in Pittsburgh, which is huge because, as Kat told me, playing Georgia Tech is not, or it's very difficult.
It's always been an absolute barn burner the past. Last year was for the ACC championship. Right before Thanksgiving or during Thanksgiving. It was one of those
the day after, and you guys had already clinched a share, but you needed to.
And we were like, let's go just absolutely crank them. They played the game of their life. And I think it was like 12-12 in a 5th set. And we managed to scrape by. And when it was just so stupid. And then 2 years ago, the night before Thanksgiving, we were in the Pete, and it was also an absolute freaking 5-setter. We were down, I think, 11-9 in the 5th, and we came back 11-11. And it was fun. It's just funny. I remember it so vividly because I ended up serving the last, like, whatever, it was few points in that, both those games. And the pictures are hilarious because all of us are like, what just happened? But this Georgia Tech, I like this Georgia Tech a lot. I know they had best right side out. Larissa.
Yes.
And they're starting Libero out. But I was impressed watching Georgia Tech, whatever it was, maybe last week. Their Mimi Mambu has been absolutely phenomenal. She did not have a very good game, I don't think.
Well, what the problem was that her first set was just really rough, which weighed down her stats for the rest because she was a thorn in Pitt's side. The rest, but I really think the biggest problem Pitt had, funny enough, was former Pitt player Bianca Garibaldi on the middle. Yeah. I have to wonder, like, first of all, it was a career game for her, which, like, that's pretty cool, come back at your old team's gym and just like play so well. Yeah. But also I have to wonder if there's an element of she knows how Pitt works because the middles weren't able to be set as much because it felt like she was always in position. And there was just a lot of crazy plays that she was making that I feel like I haven't seen teams do this year against Bree and Ryla. So shout out to Bianca. But I would say I think Pitt's biggest thorn in their side this game was themselves.
Yeah. Shout out to Bianca. She's a phenomenal player. I love that she's a captain on that team. Happy for her for sure. And I do think everybody, when you come back to school you transfer to, has like their personal vendetta, whatever that may be. So she kind of had that game. Love that for her. And yeah, first set was rough. I always say Sunday games are the games that you need to watch out for. You could be playing the worst team in the world, and then you hit that 1 p.m. timing, and it's like.
And this one was at noon, so it was an hour earlier.
It's earlier. Yeah, that's tough. And it's obviously Georgia Tech. It's a team we look forward to playing every year. Their coach is fun. They really want to beat us, and they haven't. But yeah, I just think that with Dockmar being targeted all day Friday, and then Sunday she was just the serving target again. Mm-hmm. And her struggling kind of shook everybody up. We haven't really seen her struggle.
No.
And I wouldn't even so solid.
I almost don't even want to say it was struggling, just because it just like it was almost she was just off. Which and because she's the best passer on that team, arguably. Arguably you can.
Well, I think all of them are such good passers. It's when one of them is off, it's hard. Yes. It's like, whoa, I need to lock in.
She's been really important to the back row this season. So when she was off, you could tell the trickle down, because then the passes weren't, not only the passes in general, not just from Dockmar, were pretty off. Serve receive was off. They just didn't look like themselves at times. So it was even more impressive what they were able to do in the fourth.
I agree.
I mean, they were down 23-21. And statistically, I've got to imagine that that's a really hard deficit to come back. They only need 2 points. You need 4. But they went on a 4-0 run with Brooke Mosier behind the service line, which makes sense.
Exactly.
Go
ahead.
Oh,
go ahead.
I was just going to say that it's very impressive to see, because at the earlier in the season, and not just in the first weekend, they've had some issues closing out sets. They've usually won them for the most part, but it hasn't looked very great. And that's something that like needs to be cleaned up before you get to a Louisville or a Stanford. Mm-hmm. And so, but like, not the greatest game, but they found a way to win. So like, what a gritty group.
Yeah. Obviously I was impressed with Marina's ability to step up when Dockmar came out. Obviously you could tell that Olivia was stepping up. She has been stepping up. Blair, I've loved that from all of them. And oh my gosh, well, what I loved, the first set, Dockmar came out so hot. She had 3 blocks immediately.
Yes.
I was like, oh my gosh, that was awesome. And I think that gave our blockers a lot of confidence. Bree came out with 8, Blair came out with 5, Riley came out with 4. Blair was also very impressive.
Mm-hmm. Career high kills for her.
Career high kills for her. No shock there. But yeah, I was listening to it on the broadcast, obviously, and the announcers just kept saying that the depth on this team is like insane. Mm-hmm. And I totally agree. I think that they could have put Marina out there for the entire game and they would have still won it. I think they could have put Dockmar back out there for the whole game and they still would have won it.
I think this is the first time we really got to see Marina serve too. Yeah, and I can't remember
everybody.
Yes, everyone was serving. But Marina, she had a significant service run in the second that propelled them from like being locked to having a decent lead in the second. Mm-hmm. And it was the first time like in game, I've seen her serve before, but like in game, seeing how well it went and how much she flustered Georgia Tech, because this team already has a lot of strong servers, but then you're adding another piece into it. That's huge.
Mm-hmm. She's super consistent. I think she's one of the few who hasn't struggled with errors that much. And I think her ball placement is pretty good. And I think that's why he keeps coming back to her. She's also very calm on the court.
Yes. Both her and Dockmar. That's got to be like a European thing.
Love that about them. You would never be able to tell the emotion on their face. You can tell Dockmar has like a quick emotional reset after a mistake, and she's like, whatever, on next ball. And then I thought the serving, like you said, the runs were crazy. Mallory had the one. Mm-hmm. Mallory had one. Izzy also had one right away.
Brooks at the end was huge.
Huge. It was like, I thought it was really impressive, but that bodes well to say that Georgia Tech did have some runs on us.
It was
But
weird because it
it was
felt like
trading.
both teams, like it was Pitt would go on a service run and then Georgia Tech would go on a service run, and it was watching in game. It was very much like, oh my God, can someone just side out?
Literally.
But
the biggest thing, like we were going to talk about, I think the biggest thing was the defense and the scrappy plays were incredible. Olivia, I just remember this distinctly because I was like, wow, Mimi's not having the best game ever. Like, I feel like I haven't seen her absolutely crank a ball. Next thing you know, she absolutely rips this line shot. Olivia's just like, beep, easy. And I've like loved watching her develop her defense. And I think that also said on the broadcast when she went train in the USA gym, something about like, whatever, my attacking is really good, but my defense is going to get really good with all of these like really good players and hitters and and it really shows.
Let's talk about our defense a little bit. I wrote a story about it last week. Check it out on the post-gazette.com if you haven't read it, just about how impressive it is with how strong she is offensively, and her block is really good too. So it's not like she wasn't bad defensively. It's just her back row defense has like taken like a huge jump from last season. And from my perspective, I feel like that comes from they didn't need her in the back row last year, and they need her in the back row this year.
I guess that's fair. I think that, her defense last year obviously was underdeveloped. I'm trying to think, but I think that's because she was developing her hitting to like that extreme. Obviously, National Player of the Year.
Yeah, she's currently leading the team in digs per set too.
Yeah, I'm not surprised about that. She's so quick. She just moves. She goes. Like no thought. She just goes. I think that's her best quality. That's why she's able to make those scrappy plays a little bit faster. I think she just has a lot of confidence right now that I'm really liking. And honestly, defense is all mental. It's a go mentality. You got to go no matter what. You're going. Don't think, just go. And I think that she absolutely embodies that. So I think that's really, really helped. I don't know how much training it's been. I don't know. I think she's just like, F it, let's go.
Yeah, so she told me, or maybe her dad told me, I can't remember which one told me, that after, Emmy Valeria left and then, or graduated, and then Tori transfers, like those were Pitt's top 3 back row defenders last year. And I was told, I can't remember by who, that she was in the gym like the day after New Year's Day, like asking her old coaches to just hit balls at her as hard as they could, to the point where she carried that into spring, and Dan Fisher told her that she's working too much on her defense. But it shows, and it's huge. You're seeing the changes that the benefits it's giving to this Pitt squad.
For sure. I think she just looks so comfortable back there. I love watching her play. And I love watching her in the front row, but I love watching her in the back row too.
Yeah. I asked her if she gets more excited about a save or a kill, and she said saves.
Oh, saves. Always. Oh,
what is that?
A good dig is just like the biggest F you. I hate when I think I hit a ball like really well, or like I place the ball really well, or I go up and absolutely crank a ball and I get dug. I'm like, you're actually joking. You're kidding. So being on the other end of that, it's like, yeah, haha, I just dug you.
Yeah. So. It's definitely interesting because
like, okay, example here. I am huge here. I'm a very big player. These Peruvian girls are little, but the defense is disgusting. The first game we played, I was like, okay, I'm going to crank this 4-4 shot. Nobody's going to dig this. Oh, it was too easy for them. And it is so disrespectful when that happens, just to emphasize.
It's like it's like why you get the stare downs on a block. It's almost like the same energy.
Same energy.
Which I just have to say, I love Brie Kelly's stare downs. Like they're always iconic.
At one point, I was like,
she looked into her soul and was like, yeah.
Bianca's feisty though, so.
Oh yeah.
She must have been doing it too.
Oh, she was. They were going like back and forth, and you could tell that when one got one on the other, it was just like they were very much playfully into it. Like no one was actually like,
100%.
yeah, which just like I feel like when there's a little bit of a personal connection in the game, it just adds so much to it.
Yeah.
Like I think about Bree playing her sister, and then you have Bianca, and then
I
just
can only
Louisville
imagine what
games in
those two were doing,
general.
Bree and her sister.
Yeah. So last segment for today is we're going to talk about these rankings, these AVCA rankings. So I feel like the drama I say in quotes, as in Pitt Twitter is very upset that Pitt was last week ranked 5, moved up to 4 this year. And or this week, not this year. I totally understand the frustrations when the team that is right above them is a team that they not only beat, but swept.
I understand. Yeah. The AVCA rankings is done by a committee, I believe.
It's a committee of coaches, though. I'm pretty sure.
I don't even know. And it's important at the end of the season. Yeah. Right now, it does not matter. I think that we concern ourselves more with ACC rankings because that will play more into how the rest of the season will play out. And our conference is doing pretty well, but I think that it wasn't as good as it was last year, if I may.
That might be a hot take. Some people have been saying this year's ACC.
The rankings are not the same as they were last year. Like top 5 was us and Louisville. Right now, who's 5? Is Louisville 5?
Louisville's 5, Stanford 6.
Okay, never mind.
And SMU is like 11. Here, I'll check.
It's just as good. That's my mistake. But I think that
SMU is 10. So you have 4 teams in the top 10.
Never mind. It's better than last year. Never mind. But honestly, I think 4 is a good place to be sitting because when you're 1, you just have like that target on your back. Everybody's finding ways to like last year was just trying to find ways to like tear us down. I think 4 is like people are trying to put us back up there, you know?
Yeah.
There's no negativity. When you're at 1, there's people who are like, they should not be there. 4, perfect. Great.
I will say it is when you look at it, like I don't understand the reasoning for Kentucky over Pitt because Kentucky has 3 ranked wins and Pitt has 6.
What? I don't even know what.
The only team in the top 5 that has more ranked wins than Pitt is Texas. When last week when I checked, they had 8. So I get it to that frustration, but like you said, it doesn't really matter right now. And in the metrics that, for lack of a better term, really go down to seeding in the NCAA tournament, the RPI, Pitt is number 3. And then there's a new media poll run by Lee Feinswag, who started a newsletter, 900 square feet. Really good newsletter, by the way. People should go check it out. And they also have Pitt at 3. So I feel like among majority of the volleyball community, people recognize that Pitt is the 3rd team. But like you said, ACC matters a little bit more, and Pitt is tied for first with Miami, Louisville, and North Carolina right now.
Yeah,
so
kind of F that. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It's more just for the soul.
It's more just for this. I just think it's so funny how angry Pitt fans get on social media after they come out. And I get it because, like, you know, maybe there's not as much excitement to go around at the other sports right now. So, like, you just want to see Mason. Yes. We did have a good Stephen and I talked
football weekend.
We did. Florida State though this weekend. Both Pitt football and Pitt volleyball play at Florida State this weekend, which is kind of fun.
They're at Florida State this weekend.
Yeah, so football's on Saturday, obviously, and then volleyball's on Sunday. So if you go down, go check it out.
Are they Carolina? Who do they play Friday?
Miami. And that's another ranked match for Pitt.
I'm excited to watch Flo Marie and Olivia.
Yes. Miami's currently ranked 18th in the nation.
They're freaking good. They're looking good.
They do. And Flo Marie, as you said, she is leading the nation in, I want to say, kills per set. She's just been dominant.
If she has 0 fans, I'm dead. I so iconic, her kiss to the camera after the Nebraska block. That is just something that lives in my brain,
That's
like
amazing.
rent free.
But yeah, it's been this weekend, I think, was good for Pitt. I will say. I think it was important to not only
Great
get
sold out weekend too.
Oh yes, sellouts. First two sellouts of the year, both of them.
Amazing.
It was very loud. I had to wear my earplugs to preserve my ears.
Fair enough.
It gets so loud, and where they have us sitting is like right in front of the
Right there.
second, the upper high people, and I will not be able to like pay attention if I don't.
I wouldn't be able to
something.
think. Yeah, I don't blame
No.
you.
It's so bad. But it was really cool to see the girls who hadn't experienced that, like get that experience. But also I meant it more in the sense of getting a sweep against Clemson, but also getting challenged. I think it's important to get challenged early, mid in the season.
Always.
So, Kat, Miami and Florida State this week. You already mentioned Flo, but is there anything else you will be watching out for Pitt this weekend?
For Pitt this weekend, no. I have games on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you want to watch, they're on YouTube.
Come on.
I'm on CT, so it's an easy time.
Watch Pitt volleyball and then go clock into Kat's games.
Or have it on as you watch the Pitt game. Yeah.
Double screen it.
But Pitt, I'm excited to watch them against Miami in the Sunshine State.
I know, going to Florida. I'm jealous. Yeah. I don't get to go.
I'm jealous. I live at the beach.
Yeah, you do. You do live at the beach. Okay, well, that's gonna go ahead and wrap up today's episode of Serving Up Pitt. Panthers are 4-0, looking to extend that to 6-0 this weekend. Really showing some resilience and growth. Still some things to clean up, but it's still early ACC play. So before we go, a quick shout out to our sponsor, FanDuel. If you're looking to place a bet on this upcoming Pitt football game, Florida State is currently favored by 10.5 points. For the latest odds and to place your bets, head over to FanDuel. But thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure to keep up with our PG Pitt coverage at Post-Gazette. Watch Cats volleyball games as well as Pitt volleyball games. And make sure you're subscribing for the latest episode.
Thank you for checking out this content from Post-Gazette Sports. If you watch this video on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. For all of the sports coverage the Post-Gazette has to offer, visit post-gazette.com.